I'm sorry, I will go first.
I think Michael going to first. Yeah, I'm going to share the.
Can we allow Daniel to introduce himself since we have one other person here? It would be nice to get that opportunity.
Sure.
Thank you.
Okay, so now we are going to live and start the workshop session. Daniel, can you please introduce yourself to us? Like from where are you and what you are doing?
Yes, hello, good afternoon or good morning, whatever in the world you were. I'm Daniela from Fab Lab Caracas. I'm in Venezuela right now. Welcome everybody to this workshop organized by the LN4 Hands Prosthetic Hand Foundation. So welcome everybody, and we start right now.
Okay. So there is another participant, Daniel Ferro. So we need to know about him as well. Is he panelist or he is a participant?
He's a participant.
Okay, so I will start sharing my screen.
Is there volume to this?
So, Michael, are you going to?
Thank you, Thank you, Pradnya, and welcome everybody. We're really grateful to be here today. I'm just going to spend a few minutes and kind of talk a little bit about how the Ellen Meadows Prosthetic Hand Foundation came to be. And part of the important things of the Ellen Meadows Prosthetic Hand is, in fact, a toothbrush, which really surprises people. And inside the hand, there are these digits that have a really soft rubber grip on the inside in order to hold things. And the way that my company, which I used to own, a plastics company, we actually designed this technology of these rubber bumps on the toothbrushes that we see today. And so the man that invented the hand, he came to my company and asked me if we could put those little rubber bumps on the insides of the hand that he had invented. And so we asked him to tell us more about the hand, and he told us that sadly he had a daughter who was killed years ago in an automobile accident. And instead of being an angry person, he wanted to do something in memory of his daughter. His daughter's name was Ellen, and so the Ellen Meadows Prosthetic Hand Foundation was part of how that became the name that we use. And the hand is called the LN4. And so LN is short for Ellen. And so we had a session where we said, how do we make some of these hands in the very beginning? And we made a dozen prototypes. And my wife and I took them to Vietnam in 2005. And I cannot say that we had success. In fact, maybe I would even say it borderlined on failure. And the reason that we had problems was the hand was not the right color, the hand didn't work properly, it didn't have adequate springs, and also it was very difficult to strap it onto the person's arm. So these dozen prototypes we put out there, and also we couldn't find recipients, and we thought for sure we'd have no problems finding recipients, but that was not in fact the case. So we came back home a little discouraged, a little sad, but still in our hearts, we still felt that there was a value in being able to do this. So one of the things we learned after we came back was that Ernie, the man who had invented the hand, who had done it in his daughter's memory, had read a book by Queen Noor of Jordan and learned about all the landmine victims in the world. So this hand was supposed to be primarily for those people who were landmine victims. But as it turns out, there's a lot of other people from a lot of different reasons as to why they also need a hand. So my wife and I took these dozen prototypes to Vietnam. We had lack of success. We came back. We made about 30 changes to the hand. And then 6 months later, still in 2005, we went to Kenya and Uganda and sent a team to Tanzania. During that trip, we put on 75 hands. And we thought, wow, 75 hands, that's amazing. And we came back home and we said, we need to follow up with those people. So 6 months after that, we sent a team back to those 3 countries, and they were able to locate about 50 of those 75 people. And every single person, every single day was still using the hand. And that was a milestone for us as an organization. So we created the foundation, the Ellen Meadows Prosthetic Hand Foundation. And today we now have distributed over 60,000 hands in 80 countries. And for the benefit of someone who just joined us, so now we have 60,000 hands in 80 countries. But we also know through the World Health Organization that there are about 6.5 million people who are amputees from below the elbow, and another 3.5 to 5 million people who are amputees above the elbow. So so even though we're proud and excited to do 60,000 hands, we still have a long way to go. And this is one of those things that we put on our task list that I've joked about for years, that we will never be able to check it off and say we've completed this task, because the world has many people who are amputees, and we are committed to being able to help them. Every single person who receives a hand pays nothing for that hand. The hands are absolutely free. We have individual donors, we have corporate partners, which Jordan will talk about a little bit later. And we have a number of other corporate partners. We work with non-governmental organizations. We work with governmental organizations. We've worked across all religious categories and backgrounds and ethnicities. And well, as you can imagine, with 80 countries, you're hard-pressed to name a country that we have not yet been able to distribute hands in. But every country is big. So if we say that we have hands in India, well, India is a really big country. So it's not necessarily practical for someone to be able to say, okay, well, we have hands all throughout India. That would not be accurate, because even 200 or 300 kilometers away, it may be nearly impossible for someone to get there. So we are hoping to work more and more closely with Fab Labs across the world, which we'll tell you about in a little bit. So at this point, I think I would like to introduce Daniela Valoria. Daniela was our moderator last year and is now a fantastic ambassador and representative of the Ellen Meadows Prosthetic Hand Foundation. And it's always a pleasure to see you and to know that you're there helping us out, Daniela. So thank you and welcome.
Thanks. I'm going to share my screen right now. In a minute. can see it right now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Well, first of all, thank you for the invitation to be with you. Our relationship with the LN4 Hand Prosthetic Hand Foundation began last year during the Fab16 Live, the same global Fab Labs meeting. So I was a moderator and Michael was talking about the prosthetic delivery program. And during Michael's intervention, he was talking about he would love to work with the Fab Lab network. So in that moment, we start our first conversation by email, and after that, we talked with Carissa, and in this way, we passed through our evaluation to be on a verification process, meet the requirements to be ambassadors. So we basically were admitted on 2020. And after we were official ambassadors, the foundation sent us the first two prostheses, and a small one and a large one. And these prostheses came to Venezuela like mid-September, November, and therefore we make a decision to start like officially the program in Venezuela on February. On February 14th of 2001, this year, for the Day of Love and Friendship, to give like a beyond meaning that for a commercial date. So we want to make it like more special, and we starting to make a post in our social media saying that we will love that people are starting to share these posts, and if they had or they know people who need a hand, they can share the post, and we will after a week select like the first recipient of the hands. This was not a contest. This was like our first approach to these people who will receive the hands. This publication was like massive. We didn't expect this happen, and we find that many people were interested in our activities, in these donation activities, and we start to receive messages from doctors, from dermatologists, from organizations who work with donations, and people who were like really interested in help us to begin this labor. But finally, we have the first two donators and the first two recipients. I'm sorry. The first one was a little girl of 12 years old and a man from 28 years old. And after this, we start to like get the process, like how in Fab Lab Caracas we start to work. And first we create a form, an online form to the recipients, so they can, or everybody can fill the form, and we can verify the information. They upload pictures, and we can see the centimeters they have, the inches in their arm, so we can like make a study and see who can qualify for the hand. After that, we start the process to ask them their names. Again, we get in touch with the people. If they are in the capital, because we are in Caracas, we arrange a meeting in the Fab Lab, and then we tell them like what are the requirements they need for the fitting. For example, the sock, or if they need, if they're a child, for child, if they need like a few more centimeters, for example, for fit the hand. So we buy like a foam and we put it to don't lose the opportunity those kids to have the hand. By now we already achieved like really good results doing this. And then when they're in the lab, we start the process for the training. If they are in Caracas, as I said before, we training in the lab. And if they are in another state, we make an online enrichment, and then we do like all the process online. We training them, we explain them one by one our recipients, and we give them a class like for around 2 hours, and then they understand how is the process to fit in their hand, and we send them also for free to every state they are in the moment they're live. And after that, we always get in touch. Every week we text them, we ask them how they feel, how are the activities they're doing with the hand, and every comment they have, we always have those feedback. Here we want to show you a little bit our events in Venezuela when we donate the hands. This is like a brief of our feeding hands, or events feeding hands. We have donated for to children and to adults, and by now we already make donations to 10 states in Venezuela, and that includes 3 children and 13 adults. So by now we think the activities we're doing in Venezuela are really, really great, and every day we get new people who are interested to be part of the program, like doctors who want to work with us, because they have the patients, so they help us to the people know more about the program. Our recent activities were very important for us. We achieved a partnership with the Ministry of the Sports in Venezuela, the Institute of the Sports in Venezuela, and the Paralympic Committee in Venezuela. So this was our recent achievement. We were able to donate to three people who are selected to the Olympics. These 3 Paralympic athletes are going to be to Tokyo, going to Tokyo soon, in 2 weeks. And this was a very special activity because I know one of the directors of the National Sport Institute of Venezuela, and we just talking about, hey, we have these hands, so did you know a few athletes that will be interested in receive the hands? And he helped me to organize all the events, and we were to the institute, and these 3 athletes were interested in receive the hands, and was a really, really amazing activity. They were so happy to have the hands. We teach them how to use it, we feed in. We normally, when we do the activities, we ensure that every recipient have materials to work with the hand. So we use like pens, we use these sheet papers, we use forks and spoons. So every participant can be able to really test the hand and feel more comfortable with the hand. So this one is one of the recipients. His name is Naivis Morillos. He's a javelin athlete, and the institute told us that she's going to be probably one of the biggest athletes, the Paralympic athletes who have Venezuela right now, and they told us that she probably have a high possibility to win one of the medals. So we are like very excited for her. We have another athlete, Paola Garcia. She makes a long jump, and she's one of the other classifying for Tokyo. And then we have Kennedy Mendoza. He already practiced javelin. He's still waiting for going to Tokyo. We don't know if still he's going, but he's a great athlete, Paralympic athlete too. And I want to finish this presentation with this picture, because this activity was very special for us, because we work with a lot of passion, like in every fitting event that we have, and this was a huge achievement for us. We didn't expect this is going to happen. This event was possible for a conversation between friends saying, hey, we want to help the athletes. So, and my friend was like, hey, I can like connect you with the ministry, and we can have like a really important event. And I think this is the beginning of many success. We want to keep achievement with all these donations of the prostheses, and we are expecting that to grow, because I have we have a meeting with the prosthetic director of orthopedic infantile doctor, and he wants to work with us also, and he's like the maximum authority or child prosthetic here in Venezuela, and he was very like happy for all these activities we were doing, and he wants to work also with the foundation. So probably we are going to have many success soon to keep continuing working with these donations. So thank you.
Thank you, Daniela.
Thank you, Daniela. I think Michael going to start more about the prosthetic
Yes.
hand.
I hope everyone can see and understand and appreciate why Daniela is an incredible ambassador for our organization. Daniela, you are just getting warmed up, I think, in terms of the number of people that you're going to be able to serve in your community, and you just are taking such a professional approach to this, and we couldn't be more proud to have you as part of our organization. So thank you so much. And Danielle is an excellent example of how we want Fab Labs to be part of this process. We are not looking at each of the individual Fab Labs of doing 1,000 hands or anything like that. Certainly, if they did, that'd be fantastic. But there's about 2,500 Fab Labs in about 50 different developing countries, and imagine if each one of those labs did 10 hands. That's 25,000 hands. Then that would get out specifically as a result of that. So I want to show you if you order, but if you request hands, what happens is they come in a pouch, something similar to this, where they're all personally decorated, and it's got little graphics on it. They're all very custom and different. And because it's very important that when we provide someone with a hand, we're actually presenting them with a gift. We're not saying, hey, here's a free thing to help you out. We're saying, we would like to give you this so that you can use it to help with your day-to-day tasks. we have two sizes of hands. We have one size is we call it regular, and then we have another size which we call large. We do not call them children and adult. We call them regular and large. And the reason for that is because sometimes a small or petite adult, the right hand for them is the smaller one. So if we were to call it a child-sized hand, then that would not be well received. And similarly, on the large hand, if we call it an adult hand, a child or a large child, or a teenager, or even or their caretaker perhaps would not want that person to have a hand that would be for an adult. So again, we call them regular and large. So I want to show you how the hand works. And one of the things I like to do is I'm left-handed, okay? So I'm just going to put a sock on my hand. It's a clean sock, of course. And I'm going to do that to prevent me from using my dominant hand to do just a couple of tasks that I'm going to show you, okay? So earlier, I had shown you the toothbrush, right? So with my non-dominant hand, I actually am not as proficient using the toothbrush as I would be with my dominant hand. Similarly, if I were to wash dishes or wash a car or wash windows, I just have a little bit of a difficult time holding it and using it, especially if I don't have another hand to sort of help me, kind of brace up against it. And then finally, I dropped my ink pen. One moment, please. The biggest and most profound thing is if a person has lost their dominant hand is in being able to write. And while sometimes we are able to learn how to write with our non-dominant hand, we are never as proficient as we are or as we were when we had our dominant hand available to us. So I'm going to tell you a few things about the hand at this point. So one of the things is there's a strap on here that straps on just above the elbow right here. We have two little bones and the strap goes just above those bones, and then it runs down along the arm, and then the hand actually goes onto the polite terminology is we call this the residual limb. We don't call it the stub or the stump. It's the residual limb, and that's where the hand fits onto. So I'm going to actually put this hand on, and I'm going to show you how it looks. And once it's been fitted, you only need to move this one strap to be able to have it on completely. I'll back away from the camera a little bit, and you can see exactly how it fits onto the arm. And the way it works is these two digits, they move individually and incrementally by pushing up on them, and then they release all the way at one time by pushing down on the top. You can see right here where it's flexing as I do that. So then you ask, well, gosh, you must have to have another hand in order to make it work. Well, that's actually not quite correct. I can close it with my chin. I can close it with, even if I have another amputation, or I can close it on my head, whatever solid object you can use to open and close it. The hand does not reach out and grab something per se, so you do have to put something in the hand and use it. But we've had lots of people with double amputations be able to do it, or sometimes just slide something into it by putting the hand on the table. So I'm going to show you, again, the writing element. And, with each of the hands, let me show you this first. With each of the hands comes a set of instructions that shows you how to use the hands, the various grips and things. So, and it's universal because there's no language in there. It's only photos. So again, we're going to use this to hold an ink pen. So I'm left-handed, so I close the left digit like this, and then I rest an ink pen in here like this, and then I close the other digit, and I squeeze it tight. You can make it really tight, actually, and it's got a good grip. And then you can rotate the hand like this, and you are able to write on a piece of paper or on a chalkboard or wherever you need to, and it works out perfectly. So from here, you can imagine that if this was a toothbrush in my hand, I could brush my teeth, I could have a brush, and I could, if I had more hair, I could comb my hair. Similarly, if you like to wash dishes, you can hold a sponge. You can get this wet completely. You can put it out in the sun. You can rinse it off in a bucket of water or in a stream, and it will hold up to all these elements very, very strongly. So the hand has a lot of functions for a very simple mechanical hand that we are making in such a way that we can mass distribute this. So the other piece that you need to know is a person from the inside of their elbow to about 12.5. So I lost my audio connection with my cell phone, but you need to have about 12.5 centimeters below the elbow for the hand to fit. We are able to reduce that a little bit, but ideally that's where we're at. And that concludes my portion of the presentation at this time.
Great, thank you so much. I think Jordan will present now.
Okay, all right, one second as I prepare my screen and we'll get started. Now, what you all have just heard is behind the scenes of how the LN4 is fit and distributed, how it functions. Michael, thank you so much for that demonstration of the presentation. What I want to show you guys is a glimpse as to how it is actually designed and going to be manufactured. So everything that you've seen has been the original design of the LN4 hand. And what we are currently working on is a new design, an updated design that very much holds true a lot of the similar functionalities, the simplicity, the ability to mass produce for an affordable rate so that we can distribute all these hands for free. This, of course, is a nonprofit foundation that's doing so much great work worldwide. So what I would like to show you is kind of where we've come from starting just 1.5 years ago and where we're headed with this redesign. So one second as I share my screen. And if you guys can give me a quick cue that you can hear the audio.
Yeah, you're audible.
Thank you.
You know, we were presented with this really amazing intersection of opportunities ahead of through the experience world, the idea to do a hackathon, the idea of telling a story that was bigger than all of us and that could contribute to a global cause. And all of that kind of came together with this idea for this project.
let's take a look at what has been happening. So please welcome from Meadows Foundation, Michael Mendoza.
Over the last few days, we had the hackathon, of course, and some of you have been participating in that and been able to redesign the next version of our hand. Our foundation started 15 years ago, and we have no paid staff. We're 100% volunteer, and we injection mold these components. And we've done 55,000 hands in 80 countries. No one's ever paid a dime for any one of them.
The hackathon we saw in the video, there was these new designs. You want to tell us a little bit more?
I have the winner right here in my pocket. The winning team is Team 3, Dexter 3. Thank you all so much.
That is amazing. Thank you so much for everything you do.
Introducing the Dexter 3. It's a functional, simple, lifelike mechanical prosthetic hand. It builds on the functionality of its predecessor, the LN4. It can gently pinch or firmly grip. It's an ambidextrous design that is purely mechanical. It has very few plastic custom components. It can be assembled in a left or right hand configuration using common hardware with nothing more than a screwdriver. And so that's why in general, we believe that the Dexter 3 strikes a healthy balance between functionality, simplicity in manufacturing, and that ability to bring a human connection back to the life of those who have lacked it.
This is using a cam gear mechanism. So all you have to do is push sideways on the button. It releases this cam, releases the gear, and allows the finger to then spring back up into position.
Fast forward to just under a year later, we're on the verge of, I think, presenting what could be a pretty amazing evolution to the design and hopefully get that into the hands of many people moving forward.
The thing about traveling to other countries, I tell people that when you're walking on the tarmac to get on the airplane to go do this, look back at the lobby and imagine yourself sitting there and wave goodbye to yourself, because you do not come back the same person.
When you did your presentation, I remember we were very impressed with the functionality. I think that was your goal at the beginning. That was the factor, I think, that made it so clear that this was going to be the model that we thought would be good. But the concern that we had is exactly the thing that you addressed. It's so critical for it to look like a natural hand. And so all of these efforts, I think, are so wonderful. So I'm excited not only for its functionality, but its appearance. Just really looks great.
I just got a request from somebody who got a hand as a child and been using it for the last 15 years and grew out of it and wondered if he could have a larger one. And that's pretty amazing to think of. That hand lasted for over a decade, and of course we'll send him another one.
The thing is mind-blowing. I can't wait. When do we get them? This is amazing. Water seeks its own level. There's a reason why there's just a good dynamic group of positive people here. We found each other, and let's change the world. I have no doubt we're going to. So many lives are going to be changed by what you're doing. No question. No question. Yeah, thank you.
All right. So what you just saw there was a brief history of what has happened since the 3D Experience World, our annual conference that we host each year. 3D Experience World 2020 is when a hackathon was hosted. I was part of one of the teams that was competing, and our design won the competition. And since then, we have been working to develop the second version of this remarkable hand that does so much and helps so many across the world. I should introduce myself. My name is Jordan Tadic. I am with Dassault System SolidWorks. And so I have been helping a full team. It's not me at all, just by myself. There are plenty of other designers from all over the place that have been contributing to this new design. It's very exciting. And it, like I said, it holds true exactly what the current hand model is. We're just tweaking a few areas here and there. So I'm excited about that. And I wanted to maybe leave a little bit of inspiration for everyone that's watching to know that you could get involved as well. Not only with this project, you know, Daniela did a great job of talking about how she became an ambassador for the Ellen Meadows Foundation, helping to distribute these in Venezuela. You too can become an ambassador. As you saw there, the LN4 handproject.org is where you can go to learn more about that. And one other thing that I wanted to point out is that we have here at SolidWorks a version of SolidWorks that is actually available now for all makers. So this is really exciting news, because 3D Experience SolidWorks for makers is available, and it is only $99 a year. And what this allows you to do, you'll see that, you know, you can learn more at a website that I'll link you to in just a second, but it's $99 a year, and you're free to use it for projects like this, nonprofit type of projects. So if you have something creative or a way that you think you can help other people, something else beyond getting involved with the Ellen Meadows Foundation, which we hope you choose to do that. But you can use your creativity in any way that you see fit for helping the world in any way that you potentially can. The things that I want to point out is, when you saw the hand and the fingers kind of just like morphing and sculpting into position, that too is included with this maker's software that we're making available, 3D Experience SolidWorks for makers. So you not only get the SolidWorks software that the whole world knows and loves for the last 25 years, a version of it that is connected to the 3D Experience platform, so you could save all your documents online and share and collaborate and so forth. But you also get some fully cloud-based software that allows you to, within a browser, go ahead and start designing that software or designing whatever product you might be working on. And of course, our team, as we have been working through this project, has been using this software as well. So if you're interested in this, learn more at solidworks.com/maker. Again, for just $99 a year, you can access all of this software to start your own project. And of course, we want to point out that you can go to LN4handproject.org to become an ambassador as well. So there's so many ways to get involved. We hope that you do. And that concludes my little section. So I don't know, Michael, did you want to, or Daniela, kind of wrap this up and possibly open it up for questions?
I think Carissa going to present about the few things.
Yes.
Okay, so can you please share your screen, because the Fab16 hop in for the attendance and I lost my host access.
No problem. I will start by introducing myself. I'm Carissa Rystrom, and I work with the Ellen Meadows Prosthetic Hand Foundation. Just as a slight new piece of information from that video, thank you, Jordan, for everything you just shared. We now have one part-time person working for the foundation, which is myself, but still it is very largely volunteer run and organized. And my role there is the ambassador liaison. And essentially what that means is that I coordinate from the headquarters office within San Francisco and Northern California, and we coordinate with ambassadors and ambassador organizations all across the world. And I'm excited to just share a little bit about what that process looks like. I know Jordan just gave his plea for signing up as a LN4 ambassador. And I could not echo more what he's saying. The choices are signing up as an ambassador, which is basically saying, I personally, as an individual, am interested in volunteering with this organization. Or you can sign up as an ambassador organization. And that is saying, I represent an organization, and that can be 5 people in your classroom setting, all the way up to hundreds of people. If you, maybe your business is interested in partnering where you work, or your whole university, or very large partners. So we don't have a requirement as to how big an ambassador organization needs to be. We just kind of say that that's part of the whole commitment, saying that you're all on board. And as an ambassador, there's a couple of ways that you would support the organization. Most ambassadors either help us distribute prosthetic hands, or they actually help us complete the fittings of the prosthetic hands upon hand recipients. Many people that want to help, but maybe live in areas where they don't have regular access to people who have limb loss, would be more on the ability to distribute. Perhaps they know contacts in other countries where they'd say, oh, I actually know a doctor down in Haiti. Here's their contact information. You should reach out to them in that hospital, and maybe they can start receiving hands. That's an excellent form of being an ambassador, as an individual or as an organization. The fitting hands usually means that you either travel to a country repeatedly, or you have a presence there, or you live there full time. And we send you hands. We might send them to you in the United States, and then you fly with them, or to a different country and you fly with them, or we'll just send them directly to the country. That obviously is a wonderful form of being an ambassador as well, because you can fit the hand and then continue to follow up with hand recipients. Some of them continue to live right in that area and they're easy to reach again. Others might be a one-time contact. And that's the beauty of this hand, is that it is designed to be simple and functional and very low maintenance. So people that may not have regular access or live in super remote areas, they don't need to continue to come down to a hospital to have a physician continue to tweak it. And that's enormous power, especially for people who are very low income or in remote places in the world who don't have the ability to do that. Another way to partner that is possible is just through, well, we have an account with Amazon Smile. So if you were to choose a charity to support, you could choose the Meadows Prosthetic Hand Foundation. And that's great. A percentage of your purchases go right to us. And we're so thankful when people select our charity when they shop through Amazon. And of course, we have a donate page, and we're always thankful for any funds coming in, because we are directly producing the prosthetic hands themselves, and we cover the shipping costs so that these ambassadors and ultimately the hand recipients can receive these products free of charge, and they can continue to be given as a gift. I did want to just share one quick slide. Let's see here. This is very simple, but here we go. And here's the last little bit, and you can just see it more clearly all in one spot of what it looks like to join. So you, as Jordan mentioned, you can just go to LN4handproject.org, click the contact page, and that will come directly to me. And I'll be able to communicate with you further. Or if you know right away you'd like to sign up for an ambassador role, either as an individual or as an organization, you can just do LN4hand.org, and that will take you to our LN4 ambassador portal. And you can begin signing up right there, and we will follow up with you. We thank you so much for your support, and we're excited for the future. We're excited for the new hand, and it's really an honor to be a part of this workshop. With that, I think I'll let Michael close out this workshop and go from there. Oh, you're on mute, Michael.
Okay. With that, I will say thank you to everyone. And we actually lost our moderator due to some technical reasons, but we will allow this to open up for questions at this time.
Do you want to share that final video? I can share it if you'd like, of
That'd be
the
great.
hand recipients. Okay. Okay. Okay, please let me know if you can hear this audio as well.
Yes, audible.
Had each one of them write this hand. And for some of those people, they hadn't been able to write where you had double amputee for 20 years. And they sat there, and the first word that they wrote in 20 years, thank you. Thank you. There were tears coming down. They were emotional. They carried on. It was thank you. Thank you so much. God bless you. And it just went all over. It was very, very good. So, pues me siento muy orgulloso y me siento, primero que todo, muy agradecido por estas tres personas que han aportado este granito de arena conmigo. Las felicito donde estén, que les pague. Siento que son que tengo nada que decir.
And again, one of that being 60,000 hands now.
Thank you, everyone. We're out of time, and we truly appreciate you being here in the workshop. If there's any further questions anyone has, please send an email to us. Carissa, tell us what that email address is again, please.
Yes, it's LN4project@gmail.com, or you can just go to the contact page of LN4handproject.org.
Welcome back, Pranya.
Okay, is this concluding this workshop?
Pranya, you are on mute.
Sorry. So yeah, it's really wonderful time and wonderful interaction with all of you guys. And thank you so much for this information and this LN4 prosthetic hand.
Welcome.
So yeah, if anyone have any query, please do contact to them. So Is it okay to wrapping up this session?
I think so.
Okay. Thank you, Daniela. Thank you, Jordan. Thank you, Carissa. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.